There, Chad Remington here, your lead expert reporter of the prestigious Diamond Dynasty League. Glad to be back here with a post week 8 power rankings for the 2023 season. Um, I think these power rankings you need a little adjusting. I honestly think they're pretty accurate, but we gotta go through it. We'll see our honest opinions as we go through it. But we're gonna start. We always start with the better conference, the prestigious conference. We're gonna start with the Diamond Conference now. Prestigious conference, I think, won 6 of the 8 matchups last week, so that's why they're the better conference. So we start. This is gonna be Brian McGrail's team. All right, we got Patty Mahomes. KC, they're a little off. They always start off really bad early in the year, and then come the end of the season and playoffs, it's like, oh, Casey wins everything, and Patty Mahomes always performs. So, obviously, I think Patty Mahomes is kind of like the number one dynasty quarterback. So, always respect Patty Mahomes. Never will not respect him. Gus Edwards putting up some big numbers. I don't even know if he was. I think he was always on the Ravens to start the season, but I don't know. It always seems like he's never going to be the running back than he always is. It's kind of wild, but very good value there. Kenneth Walker having a pretty darn good season, I think. Yeah, number 7 running back right now. Um, Charb is coming up on his heels, but I still think he's obviously the number 1 right there. He's playing like he is. Godwin, pretty good for this Tampa Bay offense with Baker. Zay Flowers, I'm a big fan of Zay Flowers. My mustache is very itchy today. Um, I love this pick in the draft. I think he is only going to get better and better. I think as he comes kind of like a vet wide receiver. Um, love Zay Flowers. I think Baltimore's offense does a lot better than what they've done so far as well. Jonnu Smith, I personally can't stand this guy, but he does get the occasional, you know, solid targets and catches. So I guess I can't hate him. Dalton Schultz, I think this guy has always sucked, to be honest. I am dumbfounded he is the number 13 tight end. I guess it's probably these 3 touchdowns right here. I think this guy is just not a good tight end, but, oh God, that's just my personal expert opinion. Jonathan Mingo not having a great start to his career, but I still like this talent. I think Carolina's offense will also kind of get better. Brian Robinson had a very good start to the year. I don't think he has kind of fallen off a little bit. Still number 12 running back. Washington offense is pretty darn solid for what they are. So honestly, it's kind of just going through this team. A bunch of really good value players where they're in pretty not great situations, but still kind of performing. It's kind of my not not in a non-ideal situation, just situations that are not doing that good, but they're still doing. Their players are performing. The player is performing pretty well too. Um, Ritter, god awful. I think you've been saying this since day one of this season. Just not it. At least you got Patty Mahomes, right? McKinnon, solid PPR value. I think CEH is out too. Jamal Williams, kind of come back from injury now. Cover at bye. What is it? If they play zone, he's terrible. If they play man, he's great. It's something ridiculous. This guy burned me a couple times. Not a fan. Gallup, I always like the talent. Sutton, unfortunately, he didn't get traded. I think it would have been very beneficial for him to get traded to get it kind of away from Denver. Ayuk, a lot of guys on bye this week for you. And your starting roster is still pretty darn good. Pretty. Ayuk, love Ayuk. He's getting better and better, and I think he's going to be a top 10 wide receiver in the league. Honestly, I think he can. I think he can do it. I think he has the talent. He just needs like more consistent targets and McCaffrey not taking, 8 touchdowns a game. Tutu, I will never like. Tony, always had high hopes for him. Calvin Austin kind of done too. Evan Hall, unfortunate situation for this guy. I was a big fan of this draft pick by you, Brian. What he could have been, what maybe Zach Moss was kind of doing this. Anyway, you got McLaughlin on your taxi? Wow. scary team, great team, really good. This team is pretty darn deep. Um, where's he sitting at? He's sitting at third right now in a pretty the fifth highest points for in the Diamond Conference right now. Points are really going to matter in this. I mean, you can see all these records are jumbled up. Um, the points are really going to matter. I think Brian's team is very good. I want to put him at number 5 right now. I had him at 8. Yeah, that was definitely low for sure. Dynasty, third is, I think, exactly, honestly, second, third. The wide receivers, wide receiver core, quarterback core, um, it's a terrifying team. I think as someone has said before. All right, we'll go next. This is gonna be Dino's team. Burrow coming together this year. Yeah, I mean, this is what happens when you get injured in the preseason or practices. You miss all those practices leading up the year. Uh, I I had a good friend who locked Cleveland week one. Lock of locks, and that's what happens. 3 fantasy points. That's an L for Burrow and the boys there. Um, Coming together now. I mean, 33-20, 36 here by week. I I mean, he's a great dynasty quarterback, obviously. Deontay Foreman, I think, is been producing, but with his 7.2, 30, the huge massive 31, I think he's going to be coming down to earth with other running backs kind of being present. Derrick Henry will not stop being Derrick Henry. It is wild. I do think this is his last year. I do not think he can do this again next year. I said last year that this would be his last year, so I'm still sticking to that. Dobbs is still, um, pretty solid producing. I mean, this obviously isn't good, but still talented. Green Bay is struggling. Amari Cooper, the quarterback. Um, what is the word I'm looking for? The quarterback merry-go-round, I guess. It's not. They've only had like two, I think. But PJ Walker isn't it. Um, but Amari Cooper is a talented wide receiver. You can see when he gets, catchable balls that he is going to produce. Um, TJ Hawkinson uh, absolutely was wrecking this year, I think, as expected. But the Kirk Cousins injury obviously hurts him a ton. Uh, I do think Dobbs is actually pretty solid, so I think he will target TJ a lot, especially with JJ out. But with Kirk, when Kirk was alive, JJ was out. This was just a monster um, target. I still think great dynasty value as well. I think he traded for him too, so great. Singletary is been like a RBBC this whole time with Damian Pierce, which is quite the surprise, and I think now Pierce is being ruled out, so Singletary is getting good value. Juju sucks. I think he got a touchdown last week, though. Yeah, I mean, it's still 99, and he got it. It's not it. Career's done. Um, Johnson is doing nothing. I thought he was maybe doing something, but that is wrong. So pretty bad flex here. Purdy on bye. Good, still great to have Purdy though. Can't lie. Consistent as all do. Um, Jeez, your bench is not it, is it? Holy guac! I have not seen one bench player that I like other than Purdy here. I actually kind of do like Rico Dowd, I'm not gonna lie, but jeez, I think he scored a touchdown. Yeah, hell, yikes. This bench is gross. All right, this makes yeah okay. Oh, you got Pierce. I didn't know you had Pierce. Well, not good that he's splitting time right now. But he is hurt, so that kind of sucks. But CEH also hurt. He's not having a great year either. He's not looking good. But at least you have JJ. I knew you had JJ, but forgot. Luke Shoemaker, whatever. If you have your first pick, your starting team is very obviously very good. I think your bench sucks, and it sucks more than I thought it did. I think your core of this team between Burrow, JJ, Hawkinson is still strong, but I think your lifeline is not as big as I thought it might be. If that makes any sense, what I'm saying. I might be harsh here, Dino. I still think you have a deep team, especially in the diamond cards. All right, we're gonna go on. We're gonna be a little. We're gonna move. That's what we always say, right? Hurts. This is going to be Aaron's team. Um, Jalen Hurts, consistent quarterback. He's probably one or two. Yeah, no, number two. Um, just not look at that lowest score, 15.5. That's not good. But second lowest, 24.4. That fits our our numbers better, right? What we're trying to get at. Barkley in a terrible Giants offense, still putting up numbers. Rashad White really coming together this year. I think we're really looking kind of what we thought he was going to be last year is now kind of being this year in a worse Tampa Bay offense, which is kind of good to see from Rashad White owners' eyes. Stephon Diggs being the guy, he is him. Devontae Adams, I don't know why the Raiders did not trade him. I don't know why I didn't request a trade. I guess he's obviously not happy. He's 30 years old. He does not want to end his career in the, the Raiders. They suck. Hunter Henry starting tight end. Never like to see that. Waddle, Miami offense. I mean, any piece that Miami offense. Waddle's a good receiver. Kareem Hunt with the Jerome Ford injury is dang. Oh my God, look at these touchdowns. I didn't realize he's been scoring that much. Really surviving off touchdowns though, honestly. I mean, not getting that many touches, not even getting that many yards per carry. Just really surviving off touchdowns. That means he's probably not going to be that good going forward. That's just how it works, you know. George Pickens. I think I said last week. Yeah, I said this week George Pickens sucks, and then he does this, and then since then, I mean, this is why I think he sucks right here. And we said he's a boomer bust player. He's either gonna, I mean, like catch the ball or he's not gonna catch the ball, but like he doesn't get separation. I think George Pickens sucks. Resting my case, he got 0.9 points. Who's right? I'm right. Derek Carr has not looked good. He's good at yelling at his receivers when he throws it out of bounds. That's pretty sick of him. Levis coming back down earth in his second start. Good, promising first start by him though. I do think there is more promise than I originally would give him credit for. Um, so I mean, you have three starting quarterbacks. That's pretty darn good. Cordell Paris skip Rashad Penny, biggest letdown this whole year. Elijah Mitchell on bye. Javonte Williams coming back to life. Good to see for this team. Um, maybe finally recovering from his injury. Kind of being the backbone of the Denver offense. In a weird way. Not a weird way. Just it's good. It's a surprise that he's getting the ball more and they're doing better, I guess, because he's coming off injury. Sam Laporta, stud. That's why Hunter Henry's not in your starter. Makes sense. Deuce Vaughn. Has he done anything? No. That's Hamilton here. 5'6", 176. All right. No first or second for yourself. All right. So, Hurt, Barkley, Wright, Waddle. I mean, you have a very good dynasty team. Laporta is obviously now a top tight end. I do think your starting team is very terrifying, especially with Laporta here. Yeah, your team is scary. I might put you at 2 right now, maybe 3. I'm gonna put you again at 2 for Dynasty. My Dynasty might not change. I think I'm pretty good with Dynasty ratings. I'm probably better at Dynasty ratings than Power rankings for the season. But anyway, let's go on. It's probably been like 20 minutes. We've done 3 teams. All right, Kevin's team. Oh boy, this team is an interesting team. Zach Wilson, starting quarterback. Never like to see that in 2023 or really any year. But Mozart, when he's healthy, the dude's nuts. Miami offense. Enough said. Eckler, pretty good. That's almost no, he's good. Great set of running backs as we always know with Kevin's team. Marquise Brown producing with Dobbs. Dobbs actually is low key sick, but I don't know. Mooney blows. And Njoku, he burned his face off. Feel terrible for him. Dang, he's going pretty. Look at burn your face off, folks. You'll do better in fantasy, I guess. Jeez. Um, Solid player though. Um, Taysom Hill, dude, this guy's wild. Yeah, it's like what the whole game plan. I could go on for 10 minutes about Taysom Hill. Um, Conklin starting in at flex is a big yikesers. Oh my god, this guy projected seven. This projection's ridiculous. Maybe Chargers are terrible at tight ends or something. Tannehill, career over. Winston backup. Mariota backup. Trubisky didn't even play. PJ Walker, we already said he's terrible. Cooper Rush, Jalen. Hey, you got Jaron Hall, who they just signed another quarterback, so that means he's gonna suck. I think he is gonna start this week though. Tons of quarterbacks. This is why we need to enforce this 5 QB rule. Throwing it out there. Not we, I mean you, the league. Um, it's quite ridiculous for this team. But this is the trade-off. Look at this wonderful bench he's got. Breida, Vaughn, Robert Woods, Rager. Obviously, Chubb, Mike Williams, Rodgers. Chubb, for dynasty purposes, Rodgers, Chubb next year. Mike Williams just gets hurt all the time. No first or second. So he doesn't have his own picks. I think as far as this season, I mean, even with so that I put him at 11 with Tannehill. I mean, I think I'm gonna knock him down to one. I mean, Mozart stepped up, Eckler's back. Um, I mean, look at this. This depth of this team is so bad. That's why I'm gonna give all these quarterbacks on your team. Dynasty. I mean, yeah, there's nothing on it. This will always remain down here um, until something changes. We're gonna go on. Brad's team. We got Josh Allen, stud, having a great year. Probably number one, right? Number one, yeah. Gosh, we're the smartest expert. Pollard, kind of started I think he had a great start and then kind of has fallen off, not getting really touchdowns and such. Yeah. Oh my, it's like I don't even have him on any of my teams or anything like that. Um, just the feeling, just the feeling. Madison sucks. Without Kirk, this guy looks terrible in my opinion, and without Kirk Cousins, I just don't know how. I mean, the offense is gonna be slightly worse. Stubbs is actually pretty solid, but Madison, I just think is not it. He's not the guy. Tyreek, probably going to break all the wide receiver records, which is pretty fucking wild. The whole 2,000 a season thing is actually coming to fruition. 29 years old. I mean, the whole thing is like he's just going to randomly retire, become a porn star, right? So, um, crazy though. Guy's nuts. Thielen having an absurd year, just absolutely absurd year, coming back to life. I mean, I want to see what he. I mean, yeah. So let's see. So 10-7. I think he got hurt this year. So 8, and then it's like 28-31. Yeah, this is your back to normal. Being a normal receiver, and then boom, 8, like crazy. Just respect the white king, white knight. I don't know what to call him. I was thinking of it. I'm just saying stupid shit. Mark Andrews, top tight ends, grouping for sure. I do, like I said, I think Baltimore's offense gets better as this year goes on. Tank Dell doing better than I thought. I think I shit on Tank Dell a little bit for being, 5'10", 165. I still think I could get him in a fight. Um, you know, I'm a pretty tough guy. Having a pretty solid year though. He battling injuries though, which kind of sucks for him. But um, there is promise there. Shakir not really doing too much this year at all. Yeah, I mean he had one. His last game was good. I remember that. He has potential. I think that how this end of this year goes, we'll really see what he's going to be um, for a career wide receiver. Palmer it's like he's like a mini Mike Williams. He just is always hurt. I think he is looked okay. I don't think he's looked promising. I thought he'd be a lot better as the wide receiver 2 for the Chargers. Pickett, I just don't think is it either. He's been a little banged up though, so I'll give him a little break for a couple weeks here. Jalen Warren, I really like Jalen Warren. I think he's probably a top handcuff in the entire league. Zeke's, I just skipped over Zeke. That was kind of rude of me. I think he's looked better than he did last year and the year before, really. But um, I also think it's just kind of like Belichick's scheme, that kind of shit. I don't even know if he controls the offense, to be honest. But just being on the Patriots, power kind of team was probably a really good spot for him, more than I realized. Um, Probably last year of his career, though. Honestly, he's just going to die off very soon. Blackshear, Carolina #2, fucking running back. Zay Jones, battling injury, was having a really good year. Kind of discouraging for him. He was looking really good. DJ Chark, I think he scored a couple touchdowns here and there. Gosh, look, this expert analysis is just wild. I mean, yeah, touchdown, or it's either do you score a touchdown or no. If you don't, you suck. And that's kind of DJ Chark for the Lions right now. DPJ, you know. So Claypool, I'm not even wasting my time going over that guy. Likely, um, Mark Andrews, good handcuff to have, to be honest. Um, you have your first. All right, this season, having Tyreek is a cheat code. Pollard, Josh Allen, Thielen, Mark Andrews. Yeah, Palmer, who should be coming back. Jalen Warren, I honestly think he should be starting in flex over some of those guys. Um, your team is about as deep as your starting roster, though. I was gonna say 3 or 4. We had you at 3. I'm gonna put you at 3 right now. I still think that's a good spot. Um, we're going to go dynasty wise. I want it. You guys they're old. They're not as deep as I kind of. A lot of teams aren't as deep as I always thought. Um, your team is older than Dean's. We're just for the fact of this matter, we're gonna go Brad right here. You're first though, which is good. All right, we have went through 5. Geesh, we got 10. Oh my god. All right, we're going quicker. Who the hell is starting Andy Dalton? Oh my god, I don't even know whose team this is right now. I'm not recognizing this team. Is it Eric's? No. What the fuck's team is this? Brownlees. Jesus. I'm not even joking. This team was so unrecognizable. I couldn't tell whose it was. I 100% honest there. It was not a joke. Holy guacamole. All right. Okay, a lot of bye weeks this week. Okay. Couple. Okay, you got some injuries, you got some bye weeks. Okay. A little makes you feel better. Andy Dalton, probably won't be playing this week. Um, Pacheco, I think Pacheco's looked very good. He's kind of coming not back into life, but like into life, type of thing. He's looked impressive. I think he's been like the most consistent part of that Chiefs offense, which is always just gonna be a strong offense. Big fan of Pacheco. I don't know, running back 9. Yeah, honestly, he's got a pretty easy schedule, I think, too, for the rest of the season. Watch out for him. Royce Freeman, starting running back on the Rams and starting, that's crazy enough. Saying it's a starting running back for a dynasty team is even scarier. Higgins coming back is huge. Good to see him healthy. Quinn Johnson, this guy has just got to fucking prove it. I think with Palmer out this week, I mean, it's tough against the Jets though. Um, he got some targets last game, so that's promising. This is a big. I have not liked what I've seen out of him. This is a big prove it rest of the season. I think obviously not a hot take there, but Logan Thomas. Big fan of Cole Turner, but Logan Thomas has been the better tight end on that Washington team. He's looked good. He is pretty old though. He's like 30, yeah, 32. Noah Brown. Whew. Yikes. I'm going to skip over that. Tyler Boyd. Yikes. Michael Mayer. I shit on this guy a lot. He's a great football player. He's just not a fantasy tight end. I don't know how many times I need to say this. I just do not believe in this guy. I'm sorry. I think he's a great football player, though. This flex is disgusting. Russ on bye. Just Fields hurt. I mean, you do have good quarterbacks. They're just hurting on bye right now. Perine has looked god awful this year. Josh Reynolds looked pretty good, honestly. I think he's looked pretty solid. He's not getting the end zone too much. Um, he's really fallen off these 3 games. I think yeah, he was having a pretty darn good year until these last 3 games. Kind of suck. Maybe it's injury related. I don't know. I still like him, honestly. Just watching Justin Watson got banged up. Underrated KC receiver. Deonta Wicks. I think that's named Deontay Vion. My bad, bruh. Jasicki, Chase Brown. Yeah, okay. You have your first. You have Wars' second. Probably a late second. Your team, I don't want to be mean, but it sucks. I think we're still in that rebuilding phase, obviously. So, that being said, we're going to go towards the bottom here. Hope. Okay, sorry about that. There's my landlord, aka my mother. All right, we put Brownlee towards. We kept him the same, not just because we were distracted on a phone call, but yeah, because we were distracted on a phone call. But I think they're pretty fair. I mean, just rebuilding. I don't know if his team is as bad. Dave and Kyle's, they're probably similar. And then still in rebuilding. I just don't. I'm still not seeing it. All right, this is Evan's team. We got Deshaun Watson coming back. He's looked awful this year. I That's all I can say. Um, I guess because of injury. I I take that back. It's been a while, so I kind of forgot. He looked really good this Tennessee game, and then or like in the middle of it, he looked really good. Or in the pick, he was throwing lasers. I was very impressed with him. And then he got hurt, and then it's like, yeah, it's just been. There's still a a hope for him. JT coming back to life. I mean, if you just think of maybe they need to ease him back. They gave him the big contract, which is big for him and his dynasty value. To be honest, um, it's a good look for him. Indy will always run the ball. He's been looking good. The snap rate slowly increasing. Uh, and I mean, look at 7.92. That's it's pretty damn good. Um, New Orleans is a pretty solid defense too. Um, he's being the JT that we kind of all know. He's being back. Big trade for Evan getting D Swift here. I do think that him being tied to the Eagles is his dream situation here. He's looked better than I thought he was going to. It's kind of about it's been like will he get in the end zone? Honestly, to me, it's like yeah, it's like touchdown here, no touchdown, then it's like 7 points, no touchdown here, 7 points, and it's kind of I mean, you are on the Eagles' offense, so that's pretty good chance that you get a touchdown because their offense is pretty darn nasty. But also Hurst is pretty much kind of almost like running back 1A, B, 1B type of thing. So um, anyway, still like Swift. I respect the trade. I didn't realize that he was only 24. I do think that I don't know if I don't think Evan makes the playoffs though, so I think that it probably would have been better to keep his draft pick. It would have been a potentially high draft pick. But Swift is still 24, and as we know, as we get down to right here, is that Evan likes to acquire these young guys who he believes in and give up those first round draft picks, and rather than take a chance on a rookie, right? So I get this might be a theme for Evan, and I don't hate it. DJ Moore has looked really good. It sucks that Fields got hurt, but still only 26, hitting the prime. KJ Osborne is down the wide receiver 2 for now, JJ out, so good value right now. I don't know about for dynasty value, but Jake Ferguson has been the tight end in Dallas. I really kind of big fan of this guy. Um, Dallas has been a weird offense this year though, but I think he's got future at tight end. Um, Puka, I don't, I almost want to skip over him to say it's the absolute stud. Um, I also didn't get enough of this guy, so um, see the next Cooper Cup. I mean, he's it's just a monster. Michael Thomas, I will always despise this guy. I always like Buka, and I will hate Michael Thomas. I cannot stand this guy. I think he's just a big old twat. Um, yeah, and he is getting like this. He's like the most boring, consistent player. I mean, congrats on being wide receiver 41. Yeah, I don't know. He's gonna get hurt or he's gonna be pissed off. He's only getting like 5 targets a game, and he thinks he should get like 25. Daryl Henderson, RB1, great failure. This is a the starting team is just like you go 4 weeks back and you're like, not even 4, like start of the season, like hey, you're gonna be starting Puka, Michael Thomas, Daryl Henderson, and it's like this team blows. But it's like right now these guys are kind of firing. Um, you'd have been like, oh, what year is it? 2020. Um, like who's Puka? But anyway, golf on by. Good quarterback to have. Trey, rest in peace. I love you. Miles Sanders, probably the most disappointing player this whole year. I thought he was gonna have a massive year. He's now the running back 3. Like what's going on with this? Um, I want to know what his contract's like. Ahmed Mitchell, Campbell, Drake London hurt. Kind of sucks. I think they're kind of figuring out. I hate the Atlanta coach, but um, I do think he is promising for how young he is, and he's being consistent. And when they're not targeting him, 1 target game, it's like okay, hey, he's gonna be pretty good wide receiver. Kittle on bye, that is pretty big actually. Kittle confused the hell out of me. He is one of those people that I think is probably one of the. I say it every time. He's an outstanding football player. And he just proves me wrong every time. It's like I always like, how what a loser, 1.9, and then I'm like he sucks, and then boom, and I'm like, oh man, maybe he's good, and then boom, 1.1. But anyway, it's like all about gameplay and shit with them. Um, Obviously great to have on your team. Um, this is a pretty scary starting team when Drake London is not hurt and Kittle's not on bye. To be honest, yeah. Greg Dulcich, hey, I will always respect you too. No first round, as we talked about. Swift, he's got mystery much, might be an early second, and we got his own second, so it might be in potential early one too. So we got some seconds, which is good. All right, we're taking way too long in this video. We say it a lot, don't we? I'm going to be. Yeah, I was gonna say I probably hit Evan in the mid range. I'm gonna move Dean up 1 here. I'm gonna put Evan here. I think Evan is in the 7-8 spot. I don't know if he's better than Dean's team. He might be. I can't remember Dean's full starting squad. But anyway, dynasty wise, no first round, kind of takes a little bit, but you like we talked about, you have DeAndre Swift here, and Taylor, Watson, Goff. Yeah, Puka as a wide receiver, which I think will be a great wide receiver to have dynasty wise. The wide receiver up between London, Puka is not bad. It's not past that. The flex is rough. I think everyone's kind of getting a little bit older. I think I'm going to kind of keep you in this. I'm going to put you at 9 right now. I still like the team. That's like a mean 9. All right. We'll start at the top here. Duddy Love, Clayton Tune. This guy's going to get absolutely wrecked by the Browns defense. I do like this talent. I think he's good, but the Brown defense is no freaking joke. Bijan, future Hall of Famer. I cannot stand whatever the fuck his name is. I always forget his name. Arthur, whatever. Arthur Smith, that motherfucker. Um, this bullshit this week. Um, I think Bijan has looked very good. Given this weird Atlanta offense and the plays calling that they have, it is just absurd. Brees Hall is coming back from this injury. Probably came back from injury right here, right? Look at that. What a stud. Um, only 22. Uh, I think he's looked very good. The Jets in general, I think are just gonna be a good offense. If they're doing it with Zach Wilson, I mean Aaron Rodgers, maybe next year. I wish they would have acquired another quarterback. Jamar was really hindered by Burrow kind of in the beginning of the season, kind of coming back to life now. Will always be a top wide receiver as long as he stays healthy. DK is constantly battling something between his ribs, his groin. I don't know if he just fucks too much. I don't know what the hell he does, but guy's a stud. But battles injuries. Always, he's kind of becoming like the next Julio Jones, I think, where it's like he doesn't practice and then he comes out and plays and he sits out 3 plays a drive, but like still produces. Dalton Kincaid, I think he had his first coming out party. Yeah, last 2 weeks really had his um, last coming out party was this one right here. Um, 8 for 8. It's always good to see, right? Um, like I said, I think the Bills are kind of building a Kelsey Mahomes type of build between Kincaid and Allen. Garrett Wilson, I mean, like we said, Zach Wilson blows, but Garrett Wilson is still somewhat produced, not the greatest. Um, March 32 is obviously not great. Pitts, maybe we bitch about the Atlanta offense a lot, but I think it's justifiable. 23-year-old stud wide receiver getting 5 targets, 4 targets is just kind of absurd. And we already talked about Jonnu Smith, how somehow he is just God's given tight end for the Atlanta Falcons. Still a great dynasty aspect or asset. Asset was the word I'm looking for. Um, Jerome Ford filling in for Chubb has looked pretty darn good. We have a lot of those issues with the Cleveland quarterbacks. While Deshaun being out has not helped that offense, but he's still been doing all right. Last game, obviously, he sucked right there. I think he has promise is to be either be a kind of a really good, a solid starting running back, or be a really good handcuff in his career. DeVito, we're skipping over this. Kobe, a lot of QBs, kind of like Kev's team here. Dobbs has been actually the QB 12 is crazy. Guy's the monster. In Minnesota, I think he is going to kind of really. He's in a much better position. I just don't know if he's going to be better than he was in Arizona. I don't know what they're going to let him do. The weapons are going to be so much better for him, though. That being said, he's not starting this week, so I don't think it really matters. But the quarterbacks on the team suck. I think we can kind of. That is the assumption, right? Mike White, I think one of the better backups in the league behind Tua. We just, maybe Tua gets another concussion. Not that we'd ever want that to happen. Roshan missed his opportunity with concussion when Herbert went out and when Foreman ate. I think that would have been a ginormous week for Roshan, but he unfortunately missed that week. I still think he's talented. I still think Herbert is a very good running back, so I think it's kind of like he's still that number 2 running back on that team, but he missed his shot to be kind of maybe potentially take that starting job. Gainwell they're kind of feeding Swift, which he's been producing, so you can't hate it. I do think Gainwell's underrated, but not that great. Trey Tucker they give this guy the ball like 4 times, and he's like nuts. 28.5 yards a play, come on. But I think he's got a couple of rushes too, and he's I don't know why they're not returning, but I probably can skip over that guy, right? Jaden Reed having an all right as the all right season as the wide receiver 3 in Green Bay, kind of fighting for Dobbs for wide receiver 2. Christian Watson's been banged up, not really showing. Mike Wilson, Puka will always haunt, I know, Jason because he picked Michael Wilson over Puka. There is still promise with Mike Wilson. I just, he's banged up right now. Um, Pierce sucks. Irv Smith has not hit a great. He was banged up. He's not had a great year. He still is only 25 though. Daniel Jones, essentially this QB1 on this team. I mean, yeah, we got first, so all the draft picks. Um, yeah, summary of this team is probably the best overall wide receiver and running back young studs. So I think we do Dynasty first year. I think he still keeps us one spot. The tight ends between Pitts and Kincaid are also pretty crazy. The quarterback is god awful though, and I think kind of summarizes that this is why we were gonna have to put Jason in like the 6th spot right here. Because this QB sucks, and that's pretty major for this season, right? All right, we're gonna go. We went to the top. Let's go bottom. Shroud having to Dave's team. Shroud having a great season. I thought he was going to suck. I thought he was surrounded by talent in Ohio, but that was not the case. Well, it was the case, but I thought even when he doesn't have talent around him, he's still being a good quarterback in Houston. He's being very consistent. He's looked the part. That's enough nice things about him. Tyler Algier, I mean, once Arthur Smith gets out of here, this guy probably should stop touching the ball. I mean, look at this. Look at these yards per carry. 1.7, 2.22. I mean, his highest is 5, game 1, and then 3.92. And this guy gets 21 fucking touches. I guess because Bijan was out that week. It's crazy. Arthur Smith's a fucking moron. Guy should be fired. He's like an offensive guru, but he's a fucking idiot. Najee is coming back to life these last few weeks. Actually, I think looking pretty solid. Kind of being again like this backbone of that Pitt offense. Still a young running back. Trey Palmer, I'm very impressed with this guy. I think that these stats, I think he's looked better than these. All the catches he has look good. That's all I'm gonna say. He shouldn't be starting. That's not a good look, but for a team. Demario Douglas, this is kind of skipped over him. This guy has a chance to do it. He could be. He's essentially the wide receiver 1 right now for Pat. So these are next couple big weeks for him. I think this could be a big prove it. See if he is who he says he is. McBride coming to life. He was the tight end 1 in 2021 or whatever he came out at whenever he came in the NFL. 2022, I don't even know. Yeah, look at that. Whew. 14 targets. I mean, I don't know if this is going to be the week against Cleveland, to be honest. He's probably going to have a terrible week, but dynasty value is there for Trey. Antonio Gibson, we say it every time, most underutilized talent in the league. Sky Moore is pretty much dead. He sucks. I think going into the year, we said this was going to be a big prove it year for Sky Moore, and we had one good week, and the other weeks have just been pitiful. I mean, these snap rates are awful, and I think Rashee Rice has outperformed him by a large margin. Rashid Shaheed, big fan of this guy. Just they need to get the ball. Stop giving Michael Thomas the ball and give this guy the ball. Like this, I think that's why I hate Michael Thomas so much. It's like they just have better talent. Michael Thomas like throw me the ball. It's like throw to Rashid. He'll score a touchdown. Michael Thomas will go down after 2 yards because he's a bitch. Big talent. Stafford. I'm gonna skip over this. He probably should have traded him when he had some value. Now he's banged up like Stafford always is. But good luck trying to get your 4 first for him. Darnold. Good backup, I guess. Yes. I think we could save time. Jerry Jeudy, again, kind of like would have been great if they traded him. Um, I think I think he's one of the better receivers in the league. It's just a very terrible year for him and kind of this Denver office in general. But it would have been great to see him in a New Jersey color. Kyle Phillips coming to life. Still believe in this guy. This bench is god awful. Evan Ingram on bye. It's a bright piece. I mean, it's like you see all these. You go one by one here, and then you see this. You're like, oh my god, what a great player. Um, AR 15. I think he was averaging like the most points per drop back or something like that, or snap as a QB. Um, Something wild. Hendon Hooker, QB1 next year for a team. We got Kev's first, which will probably be an early first, potentially, if he doesn't make the playoffs. And then your own first. So pretty good. We got Kev's second as well. I mean, dynasty-wise, your running backs are there. The QBs are. I liked AR a lot before, but the fact that you have Shroud, who's I thought he was going to be borderline worthless. Um, Trey McBride coming to life. Rashid Shaheed is pretty young. I believe in this talent. Your bench is terrible. I think I was probably a little too hard. Yeah, this is way too harsh for dynasty wise. I think I like your team more than Brownlee. I Brad is his own first though. Man, this is tough. You definitely got to move you up here. I don't know if 2 is enough to be honest. All right, let's keep on a going. Back. Dak. Weird Dallas offense. I still think Dak is pretty solid. I'm gonna try to really summarize shit. I'm sorry if you wanted more depth about your players of Chad Remington's expert opinion, but I apologize. Zach Moss has been crazy this year. Running back 4 is absolutely wild. Um, Especially with, I mean, his look at these snap rates, and then they're coming down because JT came back and still 14, 6.73. It's pretty nuts what he's doing with this snap rate. Um, Pretty impeccable from this guy. Uh, RXB the best RB2? I don't know. Like I don't quote me on that. Hardman, not a starter. Pierre Strong, we just kind of skipped over, but yeah, I think he's worthy to skip over. He scored a touchdown. Congrats. Um, Christian Watson not having a great year in any way, shape, or form. He's probably still a little banged up. The Green Bay offense is really struggling right now. Um, yeah, I'm. There's still belief. I do think that Dobbs and Reed are very good though, and I think that they're gonna kind of take away from Christian Watson because I think he was kind of a fraud towards the end of the last year. I think he's good. I don't think he's as good as like his stats were saying. Luke Musgraves, this is a lot of Green Bay to have though. Yikes. Do like Luke Musgrave a lot though. We said that I know last video. He continues to get banged up though. I think it's just unlucky. I don't think he's like an injury prone guy. He's just unlucky. Um, he is the tight end 1 for that team, and I think he will be very much going forward. Xavier Hutchinson, yikes. Nico Collins is the guy though. Big fan of him. Wide 15 is pretty nuts. Him and Stroud have been killing it. Cam Akers has looked better than Madison, in my opinion, and I do not like Cam Akers. Not very good yards per carry though. Yikes. I think the receiving thing is what I've been. Yes, yeah. The receiving thing, I'm like, yeah, he looks okay. Maybe he hasn't looked as good as I thought he is. I think on tape on watching the games he's looked good. I don't. Too much of an expert to watch tape. Um, we're gonna skip more Cam Akers. We're in middle ground right now. We're not gonna make a harsh thing right now. O'Connell getting the start this week. This guy is gonna be gone. I like his story though. Pretty cool story. But he's gone when Fields comes back. A lot of QBs on the team, which means like you said, not a lot of depth. Gibbs on bye. Okay, so Gibbs killing it. Monster coming to life. coming feeling out the NFL. Oh my God, I didn't know he had this good a week 2 weeks ago too. Feeling the NFL with Montgomery out, right? Zach Evans sucks. We've already talked about this multiple times. Uh, Spears has looked very good, very very good. Um, you have a lot of good backup, like kind of RB2s on here. Marvin Mims, crazy underutilized. Probably the second. We got Antonio Gibson most underutilized, then we got Marvin Mims number two most underutilized player in the NFL. Um, it would have been great if Judy or Sutton got traded because of it would have been we got to see Mims play and see what he was capable of. But Darren Waller and I are sucks for you. Maybe not because you're probably not going to make the playoffs this year, so maybe that's good for you. Montgomery here, I forgot you had Montgomery and Gibbs. Um, Guyton with Palmer out may have a little resurgence in life here, but I don't know what he's still in the pup, I guess. Um, you got Aaron's first. We got a lot of draft picks. Ooh. Okay, this will. I really don't hate Matt's team. I think, yeah, I was gonna say 13. That's what exactly we did last time. As far as dynasty, I put him at 4. That's pretty high. I don't think I maybe shouldn't have put him that high. You got Gibbs, Spears, Mims, Montgomery. We got 5 picks next year. The drafts should be pretty deep. Christian Watson. I'm gonna move him a little down. I think to be more realistic here is probably a 6 here. I think I was too high on 4 last time. I still really like Matt's. A lot of draft picks, a lot of young, like backups in a weird way. Nico's. All right, we're gonna leave it 6. We're gonna stop talking to ourselves. All right, we started at the top or the bottom. This one. All right, Ryan's team currently first. Sam Howell is. Will he have a job next year? I don't know. Weirdly good, but like Washington isn't good. Um, I like what I'm seeing out of him though. I mean, obviously it's pretty easy to say after a 44-point performance, right? Jeff Wilson coming back. I mean, any Miami player is good. James Cook has looked a lot better this year than he has in the past. Darius Slayton has sucked. Terry McLaurin has looked really good. We got the Howell McLaurin stack. I don't think that happens a lot. Tyler Higbee has been pretty. I think I was very high on this guy. I mean, yeah, look at these snap rates. Um, Very high going for him going into this year, and then I think Puka has really taken away from him for what could have been. Um, this would have been a big year for him if Puka was not doing what he was doing. But not a terrible tight end. It's not a starting tight end, but it's not a terrible flex. Wandell, what has he been up to? Nothing. He had one good game. Like Wandell though. I still like Wandell. Lockett has been battling injuries here and there, but has looked honestly pretty good. A lot of people hated on Tyler Lockett, but um, for how little bang that's what happens when you're 31, you get banged up. But yeah, MVS awful. Not a lot of depth right here. I'm gonna see if you got some injuries or buys. Um, Jimmy G sucks. Mayfield is under this weirdly having 3 starting QBs here is actually pretty good. Jimmy might not be for much longer, but Mayfield and Howell could do the job. Lenny's let's see what happens to Lenny. I'm just gonna say what him. You got McCaffrey, he's a cheat code. Okay, this makes a lot more sense. We got ETN and McCaffrey on bye. Kendre Miller. It was Keandre. Um, I think he still has a very promising career potentially for him. Christian Kirk has whatever the opposite of really right man zone whatever the fuck it is. Fuck that all, but because I always I never know about it and then I always fuck it up. But wide receiver 19, he's looked really good. Um, Debo on injury. All right, you have your first. You have your first, not your second. All right, so let's look at this team a little bit with ETN, McCaffrey cheat code, Cook, McLaurin, Lockett, Kirk. The team is very scary. Um, and as you see, we're putting. I think it's the highest points for in the league. Um, team is terrifying. I don't know if I want to put you in first. I don't like the Titans situation. I think your last flex compared to like these top few teams is pretty weak. So I'm a little. I don't want to give you that one spot, coveted one spot yet. I think you're close. I was getting ready to give it to you, but I don't think I can right now. Um, it's pretty boring. We kept the exact same three for these. You know, there you go. Fuck it. Bada bing, bada boom. Rucked. Change it up. Someone I dropped Ryan a spot there. It was rude of me. All right. Eric. We got Lamar. I think, again, Lamar's going to have a good end to the season. I strongly believe it. Michael Carter has looked not terrible with his limited touches. I mean, as you see his yards per carry, like give him the ball, he's doing good shit. But I think Delvin Cook's kind of taken away from him. I think Delvin should be gone next year, and I think Michael Carter will be a good RB2 for that team, and like a promising backup for sure. Chris Rodriguez, this guy should get the ball more as well, honest. But Washington has got like a three-headed monster. I think this guy's pretty good going on. Olave, um, I think he's a very good wide receiver. The whole effort thing is definitely concerning as far as like you just don't like to see that. Um, it's just not a great look. Maybe I understand with like Derek Carr throwing you the ball that you can. I get it. I understand it. I'd probably do the same thing. So if I was an NFL professional wide receiver, AJ Brown, I mean, just absolutely murdering this year. Um, yeah, I do think in the startup draft, we were like, A.J. Brown should have been drafted a lot earlier than he was, and look at him now. Really, I think after year three, it's like, oh, Goddard. We got two Philly Eagles right here. Number 8 tight end. I just watched him mic'd up with Goddard. He's a funny dude. Um, Very strong team right here, minus these running backs so far. Um, Dotson coming back to life, going special teams to coming back to life. Um, Brandon Cook's not great. Hurst not great. Ugh. Cousins, this is a huge blow. I mean, thankfully you have Lamar. That's obviously big, but this is a big injury. You got two wide receivers. It's pretty big. They're two quarterbacks. Oh man, Ertz on IR definitely. Ertz. Gosh, that's never joke. Never gets old. Connor hurt. Dobbs hurt. A-Chain hurt. Okay, now this is making a lot more sense. So, own first pick, own second. Um, this is why the running backs look weak, right? We got A-Chain and Connor out. We have Dobbins out in the beginning, like very early in the year. So this team is pretty scary with these running backs. I gotta, because of these A-Chain and Connor injuries, these are definitely after this whole week 4 thing. I think I gotta put you down here for sure. Unfortunately, um, your depth really sucks. Minus the studs on IR. Bad injury luck. As far as Dynasty, I really like Eric's team. I think I'm going to put him right here at 7th right now. This might be the longest video I ever make, right? Jesus criminy. All right, Steve. Herbert, looking good, bad, good, bad, good, bad. Like, that's how I kind of feel about Herbert. I don't know if he's like, I think he was battling a little bit of injuries here and there. Maybe a tough matchups, kind of like what this is saying. That maybe that's what I'm realizing as well. I mean, Las Vegas is not a tough. I see some red here. Um, Very good, obviously QB though. Good dynasty QB they have as well. Um, Justice Hill, not the starting running back you want, putting up 5, 6 points a game though, not terrible. Aaron Jones has been definitely hurt. Should be healthy this week, so this will be a big week to see what we got. Keenan Allen been very, very strong this year. We criticized this trade last year. That was incorrect of us because he came back with vengeance this year, even for being 31. Mike Evans, uh, I honestly think he's not. He's looked good. What it's like it's I would want to see a stat that's like his longest catch per game, and it's like if he doesn't have that long catch, then like I think these stat numbers look very different. But 13 wide receiver, pretty darn good. I don't want to hate on Mike Evans. I still think he's a very good wide receiver. Travis Kelsey, tight end cheat code. He's got to be the number one tight end. Yeah, just tight end cheat code. Um, big, Swifty. I mean, they're going to the Super Bowl. He's getting, yeah, whatever conspiracy theory is going on, he's going to be the tight end one. Pittman has looked very good, better than last year. Gabe Davis has been very on and off. I mean, I don't even need to look at the stats to see this. Yeah, 12 targets, 9 for this is pretty crazy, though. Big last game, so big saver out of these last. He'll win you a week, he'll cost you a week. That's Gabe Davis. Jacoby Myers, though, is looked very, very good. Um, very promising. Still 26. He might even be the number one receiver for Vegas going forward if Devontae gets out of there next year. I don't know if that's a possibility or not. Congrats on a new starting quarterback. Congrats on the starting quarterback as well. Bunch of backup quarterbacks turning to starters. Congrats. That's big for you. Dalvin Cook, he sucks. Cleve Freeman, pretty, Cleve Freeman. Rondell Moore, I think he's not getting the ball enough. That's all I'm going to say. Still like Rondell. Not getting the ball enough. Very unfortunate. Otten, I think, is pretty good. Very good this year, given this weird Tampa Bay offense and being surrounded by much better wide receivers. I think it's been promising for him. Dan Bellinger, with Waller out, we'll see what he can do. I don't know if I ever criticized Bellinger because they acquired Waller instead of going with him. That's always not good to see. But Waller's still old, so we'll see what happens. Kendrick Bourne, this guy was Kendrick Bourne was producing like hell. This guy was going nuts, and then he got hurt. That's very unfortunate. Herbert should be coming back shortly. Damien Harris is whatever. No first round pick. All right. So, Herbert, very strong quarterbacks. Not strong quarterbacks, very good quarterback depth. Herbert, Aaron Jones, Keenan, Kelsey, cheat code. I mean, this is a very good team. Yeah, shoot, I was going to. Top fours staying relatively same. The team is definitely older between Kelsey, Keenan, Herbert not though. Aaron Jones is a little 28's getting up there. This year and next year and then past this team it's going to be very tough, I think. There are good younger tight ends. This is very harsh, I guess. Jeez. I don't want to put you here. You have a lot of star power here, so I think this is a very harsh. This is a very mean rating right here. I apologize in advance for this rating because I don't think it's fair and justified. But I don't think I can put you up in here in 8, and I don't know. I honestly want to try to make this video a little faster, so I don't want to play with this too much. And we just explained, so that just took up time anyway. Probably could have fucking put you. We're gonna move on. My apologies. Worse. No, shoot, we're gonna have to put him somewhere up here. Highest points in the prestigious conference. Tua, great year. We're gonna try to be really quick here. Stevenson has been very underwhelming this year. 24 he hasn't looked good in my opinion. Um, yeah, Mixon has looked okay. Um, Running back 22, I don't think it's worth whatever you traded for him, to be honest. Cooper Kupp coming back to life. I think he had a really bad last week. Yeah, last 2 weeks not great. Um, but the all right. Um, CD. We're always a fan of CD. We're not gonna say anything not true about CD. He's a stud. Dallas is again just had a very weird offense, very weird on and off weeks. As far as like game scripts go, yada yada. I hate starting this guy in a tight end. What in the fuck? Ugh. Hopkins. I mean, we're not a fan of Hopkins. I don't think we ever have. This is an anti-Hopkins expert opinion. Um, we know he put up the 32.8, and we know he had this big monster game right here against Indy. Um, I'm just not a fan of Hopkins. He's wide receiver 16, but 31. I don't. I mean, this has got to be his last year. If not next year, next year will be washed up kind of thing. Kamara's looked good. Powell, holy shit, what is going on? Do you got people on bye? Um, Jordan Love, Mac Jones. I mean, they are bodies. I'd rather honestly have like Mayfield and Howell kind of on Ryan's team. Mac Jones is awful. He won't have a job next year. Jordan Love has looked terrible. Um, he started off real good. That's times when you play Chicago, you look really good. And he has looked bad. I've watched a couple Packers games and he's been terrible. You got Tua though. Bailey Zappi, respect. James Robinson skipping over. Tony Jones has been bouncing around teams. This guy's actually, I respect this guy. This guy's a touchdown machine. Um, St. Brown, okay. So St. Brown being hurt is or I'm by not hurt is a big flick spot. So you got Cup, Lamb, St. Brown, pretty terrifying. Hopkins, Kamara, pretty terrifying wide receiver core. Um, Stevenson. All right. So your starters minus your tight end are very good. You have a very good starting. Um, Knox on, yeah, not even that many. Just Knox, who's like 34 tight end. Wow. Um, no, you got your own first, but you don't have a second or third. Your tight end spot blows dick though. And this is a quote unquote tight end premium-ish plus league. Your starter is You're very terrifying starters. I think Cup coming back was pretty big. Stevenson's not look good. I'm probably gonna do this. We'll do this. Dynasty wise, everybody is getting old except Tua. Tua, Lamb, St. Brown. That's a pretty good core though. Pretty damn good core, I can't lie. Running backs, you're suck dick as far as dynasty goes. Kamara is 28. They don't suck dick. It's just not ideal. Your tight ends do suck dick though. I'm not wrong about that. Um, you are not getting above these guys. Tell you that much. We'll just do that. I don't know who this. I'm just putting a spot there. Maybe it moves back down. I don't know who I need to review. This is a long fucking video. All right, let's wrap this up. We got 2 teams left. I don't think we've done Chris's team. Yep, we have not done Chris's team. All right, Gino. Pretty good starting quarterback. Not a bad one. Where's he at right now? 22. I guess pretty darn average quarterback. Jacobs is not looked great, but he is the running back 11. Maybe he's looked better than I thought. Nah, look at his yards per carry. Not great. Yards per carry, not great. Not bad though. We're nitpicking. RB11 right there. Charbonnet has looked good. He's been a little banged up, but I think he's looked very good. This big last game from him as far as, limited touches, but looking very good. he will be a top handcuff in the league. Without JJ Jordan, Addison's been great. He's looked good. Um, I think that is making the number 4 rookie pick the correct pick um, for the wide receiver bunch that was there. Lazard is not what you like to see in your starting team. Everett is a little underrated. He just doesn't get the ball very much. The Paharnum or whatever the fuck his name is, like being like 6'8", pretty big red zone target, kind of hurts Everett. Chuba Hubbard being the new number 1 running back for Carolina is pretty wild, but he's looked all right. Josh Downs has looked very good. Unfortunately, he's kind of popped up in the injury report, which kind of sucks, but has looked very good. Rashee Rice has looked very, very good. This wide receiver core is extremely strong. Even they're all just young. Um, Trevor Lawrence, pretty underwhelming year. I think everyone would say RB14 is pretty underwhelming for Lawrence. We're gonna try to speed up this video. This is like way over an hour. I'd have to say. I think we can kind of do that with this team. The bench though, DPJ coming to Lions, pretty big. Um, he might have had 2 bye weeks. I don't know. It kind of sucks. But he could step up in a big role, especially with the slightly banged up Lions um, wide receiver core. Terrence Marshall, I ain't dead yet. Um, Jamal Williams, Jameson Williams, very disappointing. I don't want to say too many mean things that go on like a 5-minute rant. I don't think he's the guy. I thought he was the number 1 wide receiver last year. In the entire draft class, and that just it might be wrong. It might be a wrong call. Kyren Williams, biggest value surprise for this season. Honestly, it sucks he got banged up. Maybe not for your team specifically. Keontae Ingram on the taxi. It's a pretty good taxi though. You got Steve's first, your own first, and a second. So you got draft picks. So, all right, we got Trevor Lawrence, Jacobs, Charb, Addison, Downs, Rice. The tight end spot sucks, but these wide receivers are all young. Pretty terrifying. So I think week 4 is we really didn't see Dobbs. We liked Downs, we liked Rice, but they didn't prove themselves yet. Same with Addison. I am I'm gonna put you here at 11. I don't know. Your team is probably not better than Kevin's, to be honest. We're just gonna have the same ratings as we did. I think you have a top dynasty right here. I think the wide receivers. Yeah, this is where I hit it last time. All right, which one did we not? Oh no, we skipped the fucking team. Gosh darn it. All right, we got. I don't think you have Kyle's wonderful team. All right, we're gonna figure out which one we fucking missed. Kyle's team. Bryce Young has looked awful. I was very big on AR-15 1, Bryce Young 2, Stroud 3, with like a big gap between all 3, and it has been AR, Stroud together, and then huge gap, and then Bryce Young. So there's promise. I know Carolina changed the person who calls the plays last game, and this game was a lot better looking game for Carolina as a whole. Still obviously time to prove it. He's still a rookie QB, but definitely underwhelming so far. Samir White talking about underwhelming. Will he ever get a shot? A.J. Dillon talk about underwhelming. I think he's looked terrible. I'm surprised he's running back 40. He's a starting running back essentially with Aaron Jones being banged up constantly. Traylon Burks has not been it. Hopefully he's okay though. He just got carted off. Elijah Moore, big wild card. I still believe in Elijah Moore, to be honest. Big wild card. But with Watson, I think he can do it. Komet is not bad. Titan 6 pretty surprising. Um, I mean, just carried by massive weeks essentially. um, 27, 15. That's all you need is a tight end. You know, you need to have a huge week every 4 weeks, and you'll be good to go. Every 3 weeks. Um, Nuclear is about 0 and 2.9. You know, fuck it. 24 though, still young, so good for dynasty. Um, Deontay Johnson finally looking like he's back and healthy. Scored his first touchdown in 2 years. Um, they said on the broadcast his last touchdown was thrown by Big Ben. Pretty hilarious stat there. Um, Smith and Jigba has looked all right. I think pretty good. I think pretty good. You would like to see with DK and Tyler Lockett being banged up, that he would be producing a lot more than he is. But um, it's his rookie season. That Bobo guy playing over him a fair amount is not great to see though. Devonta Smith, underwhelming season I'd say, but I mean still very promising. AJ Brown is just taking everything in in sight. Malik Willis, he will not be in the league next year, I don't think. No, he probably will be, but Tank Bigsby has looked pretty bad, to be honest. I still believe in Tank, but has looked very bad. Sean Tucker has been unfortunately irrelevant. Rashad Bateman has been even more irrelevant. Tyquan Thorne is so, talk about this team is just irrelevant. Um, Players. Chig, oh my god, who coming in this year, this guy was like a top 10 tight end asset. Now look at him. Kyler Hurt is big. Um, Obviously for your team, especially with Bryce Young, Kyler. We had the Short Kings, forgot about them. Pat Fryermuth, um, unfortunately banged up right now. You have Evans first, which might be of an early first, especially if he doesn't make the playoffs. It'd be very nice for Kyle. Your own pick in second. So, all right, this is a pretty easy. He did lose to Dave though. I mean, these three are interchangeable at this point. At these bottom three. Um, Dynasty wise, I'm gonna be very. So Bryce Young's not looked as good. The running backs are god awful. The wide receivers are solid between Deonta, Smith and Jigba, Devonta, very good. You have the wide receivers. Your running backs suck. I think there's promise. You got Pat Fryermuth. Um, I'm definitely gonna move you up. I think your team's better in Dynasty than I just gave credit for. You have a lot of younger players, and the wide receiver core is deeper. You just need to fill in those running backs. And there's promise. All right. Jesus Christ, that was a long video. This is a sleeper. This is a I just leaked. I was gonna maybe do if our videos were shorter. I was gonna maybe give titles out, but we never got to that. So, and those were just made up titles. All right, who the fuck did we skip here? I think we skipped Ryan. We skipped Ryan. All right, where did we put Ryan last time? Here. All right, we're gonna put Ryan same spot. Maybe honestly, it's probably these three. All right, tier time. Right here in Dynasty, so we're doing this. Tiers. A tier. This one is going to go all the way down here for right now. And then these two are going to stay. Brownlee's on his own tier, I'm going to say. I don't know if he's up on this tier. I think this is a ginormous tier again. I'm just going to be a bitch about this one because I honestly think Kyle, Steve could be right up here too. Which is good. I think this is very healthy. This is like the manager can decide if they want to move up to this tier or down with this tier. So I think this is very good for the league, probably. Um, Power rankings. I think these are the top three teams for sure. Next are probably these four. I could probably put a tier one right here, honestly. Potentially. Nah, I don't. Maybe don't do a tier there. Dean, Evan, Eric. There's another tier here, and then there is another tier here. That checks out for sure. All right, we're ending the video. It might have been an hour 30 minutes. I don't know how long the video was. Love y'all. Thanks for watching. I think we pretty similar power rankings, just a little switch around for this season. Dynasty was a little more minus the 3. I think we kind of honed in where maybe we should have. Yeah, this should have been a tier right here. What we kind of learned, and then these we need to maybe do some more adjustments on. There's the big change. I think pretty similar power rankings. I think we're pretty good from week 4 ones. Um, the whole league is looking pretty good, honestly, though. I think every team is. There's no terrible teams that are terrible for this year and Dynasty. Brownlee, I probably shouldn't. You shouldn't be in your own tier. That's a little harsh. I think Brownlee, he's got some picks. He can definitely move up in this range too. So I think a lot of teams are control their own destiny. Very promising. Uh, love y'all. Thank you for watching. No one probably watched this whole video. If you did, God bless your soul. Love you.